Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do start, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of events have happened. Now, we had Deku and the crew. Deku, he was in a bit of a sticky situation, but thanks to the help of Kirishima, he was able to get out of it. Now, Izuku, on Water 7, he was trying to find a shipwright while his crew was doing a various amount of things, gathering resources and staying with the ship. Some people went out to find Bakugo, because he went off somewhere. However, Momo, Jiro, and Lillian, three members of his crew, have currently been captured by CP9, and that is not good. Izuku, he ended up bumping into Caulifla, who orchestrated an entire scenario to try and get his attention, and it worked. Deku thought that she was just some innocent lady who was being pursued by thugs, and after escorting her home, he talked to her on the way about what he could do for her. He was a hitman. He was a man who, given a price, would take life, and he made it quite clear. She could offer up what she could, or pay him what she thought was reasonable, to take care of those men, and he'd do it. He'd get them off of her back, and she would be safe. He'd have a little pocket cash, and she'd have her safety. And Caulifla, she can somewhat respect it. Deku is fitting into his business motto as an assassin, but that is only one thing she could see. Orders are orders, and she didn't do hers the way she thought that they were supposed to be done. However, whenever her and Deku sat down for some tea, Spondum put a paralytic agent at both of their cups, and revealed himself a little too soon. Deku knocked him out as Caulifla hit the floor paralyzed, and Izuku, he got out of the room and met up with Kirishima. Now, they got back to the ship, and Izuku, he got medical attention from Kendo. Now, with that being said, not a lot of things are happening right now. After doing a head count, they find that they have 3 missing members, and so far, things are not good. Deku has to let stuff run its way out of his system, and that is not easy. And there currently is Kendo, who is trying to figure out how she can use her abilities to fix Izuku. But that, it's easier said than done. She is still learning about her devil fruit, the way to use it, the way it can do things. And she's found the basic abilities, but she's also tried thinking about how she can apply them more. Izuku talked about this fruit, and it's certainly something. It should be very powerful. Looking it up in the World Government archives, it's a threat, a very big one. Users of this fruit, they need knowledge of it, and that means quite a lot. They need knowledge of the human body to make it properly function. And she is lucky. She is a doctor. Now, with that being said, we do currently have the next morning, where Deku, he actually just won't sit up. Him burning his hands up and trying to put his hands into fist. However, he does still find it to be very troublesome. His fingers are weird. His body still feels numb, as if he sat on his entire body for too long. Blood flow is returning, and things feel right. But, still feels tingly and sore. That going through his mind. And currently Izuku, he would go to step out of his room. As Bakugo, he does sit there in the hallway with a sword. Him sitting against the wall with his eyes closed. And Izuku, he would go to turn staring at Bakugo, walking right past him as the man is still asleep. And Izuku does head to the kitchen, as we do currently have Denki, who, he is awake, and he is preparing a few things. Currently, him sitting there with headphones in his ears and a cigarette in his mouth. As Deku, he does a walk into the kitchen. Denki currently staying there, cooking on the stove, as Deku's making a pot of coffee. Him turning his head and staring at the man, who doesn't seem to recognize that he's here. And Izuku, he does get a walk out, since dinner might be ready, or breakfast might be ready soon. And he's pretty hungry, especially since he didn't have dinner last night. Yeah, not gonna lie, something good does sound great. Especially after last night. Though there is a problem. Deku walking out and staring at the water. The ship is still frozen over. It's a little cold, but out here is nicer. But that's the problem. They found a shipwright who might repair his ship. They haven't found one willing to actually go along on his ship. And from what he can understand, the locals are a bit spooked. There's something gonna happen. I mean, it's strange, but he can feel a storm. He can feel it on the airways. There's that smell in the air. Not the salt, but he just reminds him a little bit of home. Todoroki gonna woke up, expressing. They have to hurry. I'm turning his head. What's up? Listen, Aqua Laguna might hit soon. We're not too sure how much time we have. Usually it hits around this time of year. It's always like that. We might have a few days, or we might have a few hours. It's certainly been a while. And exactly what is this? Aqua Laguna? You alright? Jaw's still stiffening back up, but yeah. Aqua Laguna, it's a phenomenon. A massive storm once a year. We gotta be careful. Besides, they like to restrict all travel within a week, usually before the month starts. Cut it down and hopefully avoid casualties. Some people don't know about it, and the ones who do avoid it around this time of year. The ones who don't usually end up swept in the storm and have their boats blown away or destroyed. And they end up getting stuck on the, well, higher levels. Really. Yeah. It's easy to put it this way. If you're not prepared for it, you're probably going to die. And I don't know if we're prepared for it. We either got to set sail soon or now. So, we got to find Momo. We got to find Jiro, and we got to find Lillian. It's either that or they end up getting swept away and probably killed. Yeah, it sucks. I'm going to turn, talking about it. Though he's had a lot of time to think. He's fairly certain that these people, they are world government. And that would be a little gift they left me. Deku tapping on the necklace, bringing his hand up and closing it into a fist, telling Todoroki, Sea Stone. Like back and impel down. Clearly, they want to restrict his powers. Take him on. Try and catch him off guard. They did. That one fucking idiot revealed himself a little too soon. He didn't even realize his hand was relaxing. He was too caught up in business. And honestly, that's his fault. He got distracted. I did. That was my mistake. If it happens again, I'm gonna be pissed off. But, let's see. So there's not a lot of ships, right? There's not. Okay. Let's see. The world government, if I had agents capture people in my crew, what would I do? What would I do? Now, Izuku is currently trying to think. The shipyard would be a good place to check. Find out about any outgoing ships and check them. Preferably ones which are larger and could easily hide a person, or ones that are smaller and will be harder to check through. All he knows is he saw two people, and if that's the case, those two people dealt with him. This group has got to be larger, and more than likely organized. But well organized is up for debate. That one guy literally took out his own ally by mistake. she was in the crossfire. So, they may work well together, but they're not infallible. They do have their own problems, like their own little pirate crew, just on a leash of the world government. Okay, so whenever he was captured, they put him to Ennis Lobby. Right, right. Ennis Lobby, that's annoying. Kangaroo Court and then Impel Down. So let's see. If he was gonna go there, what would he do? Deku's trying to think. And as he is doing so, there actually is Denki, who would gonna step out and bring his hand up. Right now him, gonna set his cigarette down in the ashtray and going to express that breakfast is ready. Some people gonna turn to him. And Denki, he does get a few stares. Right now him talking about it. It's gonna get cold fast. They might want to hurry. And everyone, they do just step inside. All of them currently gonna sit down and eat. And Denki, he does try to ask questions about what's going on, since he's seen a lot of weird things. And Todoroki, he would try to explain it. There's a lot happening. Besides, today is really one of the last days for the train to run. If people don't get out of here now, they're going to be stuck here in the city. And Izuku, he is a bit more intrigued. Now him turning to look at Todoroki, asking him, exactly which direction is it heading in? Well, it heads into a few places. I've been there before. I've been on the actual train. But it heads to Ennis Lobby. Right now, Deku staring up at Todoroki, as Kirishima has a turn looking at him similarly. Both of the two have been there. And that place, it's a government island. It's an anomaly. A place that should not exist. And this, it does catch Deku's attention. Of course. Of course, they take her to Ennis fucking Lobby. Okay, so let's see. What would they do? No. They would expect him to... Right. Would expect him to try and intervene and intercept. Let's see, though. He's dealing with government agents. People who are actually somewhat competent. Right. Did there happen to be any trains running last night? No. Didn't hear any. Besides, everyone was too busy getting prepared. Okay. So there was nothing last night. Who was on watch? Bakugo was. Okay. So he would have heard something. Or he would have at least reported it in, right? Maybe, but it's just a train. Besides, it would have woken all of us up. I know. But we gotta know. Him going to turn. Standing up and gonna wake up Bakugo. And Bakugo, he is groggy and annoyed, but he would go to give the information. There was nothing last night. Now fuck off. He's tired. And Deku, he does head back to the kitchen. Right now him saying a few things to the crew. And it's quite clear. No train has left today. Nothing has happened. If CP9 does have his crew, if those agents have his crewmates, that means quite a lot. Now, Izuku, he does begin to get things prepared. Him beginning to explain to everybody the plan. And Kirishima, he is a bit excited, because he is being given an actual part to play in this. Right now, what's going to happen is this. The teams are simple. It's him, Kirishima, Mina, and Kendo. They are going to be going to the train station, seeing if there's anything going on there. If he's correct, there should be a train ready to leave soon. If not, there should be something going on down the station that is causing some panic. Either the government, they are confiscating this train to give it a quote unquote emergency stop in its lobby, or they already have one heading out there and it hasn't left. It's going to be easy. They still got a lot of time this morning before it should leave. Deku turning his head. As Tokyo does Good Express, that usually it leaves around 9 in the morning. It's currently 7:30. So they do need to hurry up. Besides, if they're going to be doing something so tricky right now, they have to get ready. Deku expressing to the others that right now they're going to be staying on the island and trying to search for their comrades. Search ships and other vessels, and the island itself. If they can't find anything, then take the ship and leave. But try to be careful. Him turning to Asui, telling her to use her judgment on the oncoming storm. If they have less than a day, then leave immediately. If she thinks that they have more than a day, stay for at least a fourth of it. 6 hours, searching. After that, head out, as far as possible into the ocean. And Asui, she will get a nod. Deku, going to turn, expressing to everybody else about what they're going to be doing, because they all need to get a bit dressed up and wear disguises. But most importantly, him looking around the room, before going to state this as fact. Everybody here needs to understand. Do not tell Boa Hancock about this. He would not live it down. Now, everyone's a bit confused, and Deku will get a stand, telling his team members to get very well dressed and to find some good looking suits. Now, they would all go to leave, and everybody else at the table, they do continue their breakfast. And we do actually have later down at the train tracks, Izuku. He's a very well-known man with a very well-known face. However, a few things are simple. A little bit of makeup here and there, a fake scar, and even going somewhere to get your hair dyed. Yeah. It makes him look a little different, along with even a few more accessories covering his face, and greasing some people's palms to keep their mouths shut about what they did for you. It's simple. Currently we do cut to the train yard, where Deku, he does stand there in a very nicely dressed suit, and right now, him with blonde hair, a hat, and a set of glasses on his face, along with even a fake scar along the side of it. And there currently is Kendo. Kendo is a bit dressed up. I know her with her hair somewhat curled, and in a bit of a dress, and she is trying to ask about it. So she does get a turn looking at Kirishima and Mina. And the two, they are very well dressed. However, Zuku, he made things a bit more complicated for them, like his disguise. Their faces are plastered all over, and little details here and there can go a long way. A fake scar, an accessory, and Kirishima, he does stand there annoyed, since his hair is brown and he is wearing a monocle. Along with that, he does have a stupid scar on the side of his face. And there currently is Mina, who does have her hair somewhat curled and dyed black. Along with that, she is wearing a bit of a looser fitting outfit. And this, it does make her somewhat annoyed. I know her trying to ask about why her dress is the way it is. And Deku, he'll get a turn, trying to tell her about what to do. Besides, she's wearing contact lenses. It's simple. Play a bit of a part and put on an act. It's simple. No one will look at them as long as they stay in character. It's the act of disguise. And Kendo is a little bit more alarmed, since Deku, he's doing things a bit differently. He's walking with a bit of a hunch, and he's looking around. It's a bit weird. And this, it does concern them. As you know, people, they are trying to wait patiently, being told once again by the world government about what's happening. And it does mean quite a lot. Right now, a train is being loaded up, and it is going to leave. And Deku, he has to watch on, as right now, he has to watch people step aboard and stare at them. All of them are well dressed. All of them have a few little things here and there that make them stand out. But Izuku, he'll get to see a man that he does get to recognize. Right now, him stepping aboard the train and a bit late, since he recognizes that damn mask, and it does concern him. Okay, so they gotta move. Though they need a bit of a distraction. Now, Deku, he'll get a turn, expressing to all of them what to do. Right now, everybody gonna head out, as Deku, he'll get a walk to the back of the crowd. Him going to bring up a phone and make a bit of a scene. Huh? What do you mean? It's tonight? No, I should be able to get home. No, just what do you mean? Predictions as early as 3. Come on, don't mess with me. What do you mean? Seriously? I think it's today, but there should have been more time. Okay, well, the train's a bit delayed. We should be okay, but I could probably find a ship out if I actually need to, but worse this year. Now, Deku, he has to have his face appear to turn white, and people, they did start to take notice to what he was saying. Worse this year. No way to head out. And the train being delayed? Yeah, that does begin to cause a bit of a public uproar. And people, they do begin to get antsy. Aqua Laguna is always bad, but if it starts to get worse and worse, it's going to kill a lot of people. And this, it does cause a bit of chaos among the non-locals to this area. Now, Deku, he would sit back and watch the show, as currently, world government agents do begin to step in and try and stop everything. And there currently is Deku, who, whenever he does see the crowd get busy, he'll get a turn. Him leaping up into the air as he does, gonna land on the roof to the terminal area. And he will get a turn looking at his allies, expressing about what to do. And this is where everyone, they do begin to get up above. Reno Kendo being helped up by Izuku, him leaping back down and picking her up. As everyone, they do then jump aboard the train and get ready. It going to depart. Now, this has been quite a lot, and currently Deku, he does stand there on the back of the train, him acting a bit casual as people do get to see the train leave. And Izuku, he is still dressed in his nicely fine suit, as everyone, they do to stare on. And Deku, he will get a turn. Right now him expressing to his crew about what they're going to be doing, and how they'll handle this. They all need to be prepared for anything. And if they can't, it's going to be bad. They're going to go from car to car trying to find Momo and Lillian. And if they can't, it'd be safe to assume they may already be at Ennis Lobby, either being processed or tortured for information. So, they all need to be very, very careful. Does he make that quite clear? And everyone, they do understand. As Izuku, he would go to turn, bring his hand into his pocket, and make sure that everything is still where it's supposed to be. With the current situation, it's all bad. With the current situation, they're not too sure. People are stalking the ship, keeping records and taking notes. But if they're on this train, then there shouldn't be anyone in Water 7 who should be out the ship, who should want to investigate his room. However, he cannot take that risk. And Izuku, he does have the rumble rumble fruit on his person. And with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.